Hey guys, Brandon here. Welcome back to 95 Tactical. In today's video, we're giving you an honest review on the Olight Osight. Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to our channel sponsor, Aura. There are so many leaks that people have no idea how to protect themselves from, and this puts them at risk of credit fraud and identity theft. Data brokers are also collecting and selling your information. Aura offers data monitoring that will notify you quickly if it detects your personal information has been compromised, and will help you resolve any potential fraud threats. Plus, their apps can encrypt your Wi-Fi connection and protect your phone and computer from malware. Aura offers a 14-day trial, and you can cancel whenever you want. Sign up with the link in the description down below to stay protected and if you want to help support the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We also recently started a Patreon that we will link in the description down below if you want to help fund future projects to bring to the channel. Making these videos can get quite expensive, so if you want to help us out, we would really appreciate it. So to start the review, there are already plenty of videos out there now showing unboxing, so we're going to skip that part and get right into the features and impressions of the optic. So the optic itself has a 3 MOA dot. It comes in red or green. It mounts directly to an RMR, which I think was the perfect choice considering the size is definitely made to fit on a compact or full-size firearm. The window size is huge, coming in at 24 by 21.5 millimeters. It has 45 clicks of windage and elevation adjustment. It is parallax free. It has 10 daylight and 2 night vision brightness settings. It has 70,000 hours of battery life and 1 charge on the lowest setting. 3 brightness modes including auto sensing, manual adjustment, and lockout. It also has a shake awake, so that is a really nice touch. The biggest piece of innovation on this optic is that this is the first rechargeable optic on the market. In typical Olight fashion, it charges via a magnetic mount on the top from the optic cover that comes with it that doubles as a battery charger and a battery life indicator. So this is very nice because the optic hood is basically a dedicated power bank to the optic system, making sure you can charge the optic on the way to the range, and you can charge the optic hood via USB-C. So this dot hit the market a few months ago, and you may be wondering why we are doing a review on it now. Main reason being, Olight wanted to send this to us to review, but they notified us only a few days before their official launch. Then we got radio silence and didn't get notified that they would send it out to us until after they had sold out of their inventory. So we had to wait a few weeks after the launch to get it in the mail, and honestly, I am very glad that happened. It gave us a chance to watch how this product was doing with other reviewers, and the results are very mixed. The majority of what we were seeing was that people were having issues with their Osight holding zero. Now take this with a grain of salt. A lot of reviewers we were seeing that had this issue simply were not mounting it properly. They would take it to the range, hand mount it with a wrench that comes in the box instead of torquing to spec, shoot it a bit, and wonder why their dot wouldn't hold zero. On top of that, I do not see anyone actually zeroing their optics properly. Every person you see is zeroing their optics standing and shooting at a target and just making adjustments until they hit. What you are supposed to be doing is taking out as much of the human factor as possible when it comes to zeroing your optic. So zero on an actual pistol stand, or at least brace against something to try and take out as much human error as possible. Reason why you shouldn't be zero standing is if you are shooting low left, you can zero your optic to compensate for that, but as soon as you stop shooting low left, you're going to wonder why you aren't hitting your target anymore. With all that being said, we decided as a channel that we would take our time testing this product, and to help save the majority of you out there some time, we're going to address the biggest issue that we hear from all the other viewers on YouTube. Did it hold zero? And to answer that question, yes, for our testing, it did hold zero. Now with us knowing all this information about Olight's reputation, we decided to try our best to go into this product with an open mind. We pride ourselves in giving our audience an honest review, and so we set out to do exactly that. We mounted to our new Springfield Echelon that we are currently reviewing, so keep an eye out for videos on this firearm in the near future. Since the Echelon has their new universal optic system, we were able to direct mount it, and we decided to check honor groupings at 25 yards every couple hundred rounds. This would tell us if we would lose zero at any time during the testing. Alright guys, for the final test after shooting 1,000 rounds with the Osight on here, we're going to confirm zero, or at least make sure it held zero at 10 and 25 yards.
Alrighty, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's about 2 inches right there. So definitely not too bad. Kind of pulled these two, but if you look at this grouping, all 3 of them pretty close together. The grouping that I made, it's gonna be right about here at 25 yards. So still pretty good. Held 0. Same thing, so the group went here to here. And then I threw that one for sure. So pretty good, 2 inches at 10 yards and 2.1 inches at 25 yards. So I think that's a win.
Now, I want to be honest here. We didn't do any crazy drop tests or racked it against the table hundreds of times or smashed it with a rock. Reason being is we think those are pretty unrealistic tests for a majority of the population's use case for an optic like this. Most people never abuse their optic like that, and let's be honest, a majority of people out there don't even put more than a few hundred rounds through their firearm. So over the course of a few weeks, we put 1,000 rounds downrange with this optic. Every 200-300 rounds, we would check 0 to see if there was any shift, and sure enough, by the time we got to 1,000 rounds, it was still holding 0. Now, perhaps we just got lucky and got a good one. Mind you, this is a one-of-one test. Take that with a grain of salt. Your results may vary. But if you would like to see us do a reliability test or a drop test on the channel, leave a comment down below, and if we get enough people that want to see the results, we can absolutely make that happen. The next issue we wanted to address was battery life. As I said before, they have a rating of 70,000 hours of battery life on the lowest setting. Not too sure why anyone would have their dot on the lowest setting, but we noticed a few reviews out there of people having issues with their dot not holding a charge properly, and we wanted to test that for ourselves. I charged it up to full once and have not charged it since. I just want to see if it would last at least a few months before it needed charging. And that was using various brightness settings between all 3 of us. We would change up and down depending on what we liked or depending on the time of day. Pretty much just like anyone else using their optic under normal conditions. And almost 4 months later, it is still operational. While on camera, let's check the battery life on it now. So I'll put the optic cover hood on here. And it is showing it is still actually at 50%, that's pretty impressive after 4 months of using it all the time. So I think that's quite impressive in our opinion. We really like how the battery actually lasts quite a long time, and you never have to have the issue of changing your battery out mid-range session or worry about remembering when the last time you changed the battery out. Just throw this hood on a few hours before you head out to the range with the boys, and you will always have a full battery every single time. Again, your miles may vary, but for us, this optic has been solid. Now, if you are on the fence about purchasing this optic, we can give you a quick pros and cons list. For the pros, battery life is amazing, which doubled with the optic hood, you literally never have to worry about changing out a battery again. You can keep it topped off at all times. Another pro would be the large yet skinny window. This optic was obviously brought out to combat the large window of the Trijicon SRO or the Holosun 507 Comp. The difference here being that they went with a skinnier yet taller window. This aids in concealability when mounting on a carry gun because you do not have as much extra housing sticking out of the side of the firearm, making it easier to prevent printing. And finally, price. This optic comes in at an amazing price of $199. This is significantly cheaper than either of the Holosun or the Trijicon options. So on to the cons list. Starting with the optic hood. There actually have been reports of optic hood fitment issues. I have seen from many others on social media about how the optic hood doesn't fit on some firearms due to the rear sight being a little too close to the optic. Or if you are running suppressor height sights, the rear sight sits a little bit too high, not allowing the optic hood to come down onto the optic to charge. That is an issue for obvious reasons. That basically makes the optic unable to be recharged unless you remove the optic. Olight does have a firearm compatibility chart on their website, so be sure to check that out before you purchase. The second con would be the fact that it is only rechargeable. So if you're ever on the range and have been careless with keeping up with the battery, you do not have the option to swap the battery out for a new one to get you through the day. You have to charge it via the optic hood, which does take some time, which kind of sucks if you're in the middle of class with it and have to finish out the course using irons. Another con is that it currently only comes in a 3 MOA configuration. I know there are some out there that prefer a much smaller dot than that for precision, but unfortunately, as of their initial launch in 2024, they only have a 3 MOA option. And the final con would be the fact that it has this little logo right here on the side of the optic. That's right, the fact that it is an Olight is a con. Olight has a pretty bad reputation in the firearms community for creating products that have literally gone up in flames in the past. Now I will say that Olight as a company has done a lot to make up for their past mistakes, but it is hard to shake off a bad reputation once it has settled in, especially in the firearms community. Now as for our final thoughts on this optic, we believe it has the potential to take the market by storm. It literally solves all the issues that the average consumer has been complaining about when it comes to a reflex sight optic. A few things we hope to see if Olight does bring out an updated model would be an optic hood design that would fit all firearms regardless of aftermarket configurations, dual fuel compatibility to give people the option to swap out disposable batteries if needed, and more reticle sizes to choose from. Maybe even a multi-reticle system. At $200, this is a great option to get people into pistol-mounted reflex sights while also solving all the anxieties they may have about swapping to a battery-powered optic system. Now to end this video, we wanted to answer the question you all may be wondering, would we recommend this optic for your everyday carry? And to answer that question, we would say, not yet. Olight simply doesn't have the reputation to back them up when it comes to a product that you have to trust your life with, compared to their competitors like Trijicon or Holosun. Now, over time, that may change, but as it is right now, we just can't give it our blessing. And although Olight sent this product out to us for free, we do pride ourselves in not becoming shills and giving you our honest thoughts that we find from our own testing. We will continue to use this optic for future reviews, and if we run into any issues, we will likely post it to our Instagram account. So if you want to keep an eye out for that, be sure to give us a follow at 9to5 Tactical. I will also link it in the description down below, along with our Patreon link if you want to help support the channel. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you made this far, I want to thank you for watching. If you liked what you heard, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification if you want to be notified of our future videos. We post a new one every single week. And with that, we will see you in the next one.